Welcome to Unfiltered, Pixel Pro Audio's weekly show. Today we're doing another casual Friday episode, going in depth on Flock Audio's new patch bay system. We've got Star Wars talk, SpaceX talk, Oktava, Drawmer, and the hot topic of Kevin Costner. Hello, welcome back around the drum. I'm Tay, this is David, that's Jay. We're up in the Pixel Pro Audio studios. It's mid-April. Spring is coming. I think winter's finally done. I've gotten rid of my hibernation hairdo.
And points at the beard, says hair. We're off to a good start, kids.
If there's any Zelda fans, he looked like Cafe, didn't he?
I don't know who that is. We got windscreens blooming in here.
Yeah.
So hopefully this will change a few things around here.
Yeah, we had some pop problems, and it's been hard to get up on the grill because of those pop problems. Yeah. So we're going to try to get closer to the mic today.
Yep. So today we're going to go over a few things. But first, David, let's get... Well,
okay,
yeah,
wait.
what?
Since you mentioned the pop filters, let's just say what these are so that people know.
Okay.
One of our commenters said that the Rode WS2 works great with the Aston Stealth. And so we said, hey, we carry those.
Yeah, let's try
Let's just put some of those on here. So we'll see how it goes.
So they, like all pop filters, they don't make them exactly correct, but they're flexible, so you can get them around a lot of microphones. So
it went on easy?
Yeah, I think so. Okay. Yeah. So, David, tell us kind of like what you found perusing the internet the last, I don't know, like a couple weeks.
I don't know how I haven't heard of this yet until like last week, but this has been a thing since last November-ish.
Okay.
It's the Flock Audio Patch System.
Okay.
And it's an all-analog patch bay, but digitally controlled.
Okay.
I think this is really exciting.
So this is like a display screen on your computer that you can control digitally. Analog physical patch bay?
Yes.
Okay. So how many patch holes does it have?
64, right?
It's 32 by 32.
Yeah, so 64.
And that's usually double what you can get out of one unit rack?
Usually you find 48 point patch bays. Yeah.
Okay. So can you plug in TRS and XLR?
It's all DB25 except
really?
Inputs and outputs 31 and 32.
Okay.
Our DB25 on the back, but our TRS and XLR combo jacks on the front, so you can try a piece of gear really quick and see if you want it in your setup without doing a bunch of
Or if you have like a lunchbox or something and you want to, somebody brings in their stuff and you just want to patch it into the front.
Yeah.
But when you're making a patch bay like this, you're installing a patch bay like this, you're going to do a bunch of custom wiring anyway, especially with how much this thing costs. You're going to invest some time into this baby.
Yeah.
So it's just DB25 in the back.
Yeah.
And then, so it's an analog piece of gear, a physical piece that you put in a rack, and then you load the software on your computer.
Yep.
And then you have this little nice screen that you can customize and route. And so I'm assuming it has like recall and like settings to be saved. So all you're doing is you're plugging it in once in the back, and then you can adjust from the computer screen of what routes where, right?
Exactly.
So conceptually, that sounds really nice.
Yeah, but it's not cheap.
Really?
It's like $2,200
for one unit?
Yes.
For one patch.
Okay.
Yeah, and I know that's a lot.
Yeah.
For a patch bay, but okay, here's my argument.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm not sure if I'm gonna get one yet. I don't know, but I think this patch bay could make me more money. I'm gonna say it one more time for John Friedman in the back.
Good old John.
Classic. I think this patch bay can make me more money.
Why is that?
Now I am intrigued.
Okay, I knew you would be.
Okay, I'm going to watch my tongue. I believe you. Okay.
Okay. So, little backstory. In my studio, I charge per project.
Okay.
I don't like to do the hourly thing for a lot of reasons, but I charge per project, and typically it ends up being about $30 an hour, and that's okay. But a lot of that time is spent patching things in correctly and doing all the routing and
with your gear.
So what you're saying is
gear,
this is going to save you time. And so that's time is money.
Yes.
Okay.
Because
so in 30 years you're golden.
I think this thing will pay itself off.
Okay.
In honestly about a year.
I think that this thing is really cool. I really do. I think it's too expensive for me. just because what did you say? How much it was? $2,200.
Yeah.
For me, it's too expensive, but it is really cool. I would like to have 3 of these in my studio someday and just be able to patch things willy-nilly on my computer. That sounds fun and great. But I don't know. Right now, I don't see myself spending $2,200 on a patch bay.
And hold on, it's not for most people. Sorry, I fixed my mic.
Quick adjustment.
Yeah. I don't think they're going after the home studio market, obviously, with that kind of price point for a patch bay. No. And it's not for people who like actually patching things in, because it is fun, but...
Yes, there's an act to that, and like a satisfaction that you get from routing your own stuff on the fly or when you're recording.
You know what this needs? It needs to be like a comprehensive recall solution. And I don't know, maybe there's some aspect of this I don't know about, but if this was patching so that you could save a session with all the patching and you could click a button and your mix is back up and everything's patched in, and then at the very least told you where your settings were. So
yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Whether that was like taking pictures with your cell phones and you could see it in the app or whatever. But like to me, like the recall thing, the recallability thing really only helps in that, you're recording a vocal and this is your vocal chain. So you just push a button and it goes.
That can be really nice for vocals, but for me, setting up drums it's very time consuming.
Sure.
Especially with the amount of mics I use.
Yeah.
Something like that would be just amazing. And then for analog summing, when you want to go back out of your computer into a console.
Yeah, to push a button and have everything just go into your console would be great.
Right. And everything's recalled, and that's exactly how you want it. That's the dream.
Yeah. I'm one of these people who really likes patching, though. So
yeah. This isn't for you then.
No, and I'm not in a rush. I'm not recording bands or anything. So I'm not like trying to go fast, but I love taking those cables and patching them in and
just being way too sensual about that.
Okay, and then there's the other aspect, the creative aspect of if you've got that easy button there to patch something in, would you maybe not contemplate patching in another piece of gear?
Well, the thing is, you can just drag and drop.
True. Yeah. So maybe you would. Maybe you would experiment
easier.
more.
Yeah. Easier.
You probably would experiment more.
And this is probably the most exciting thing about it. Making a mult is so easy. So like when I'm recording vocals, a lot of the time I spend is getting a solid chain. So I'm usually going into my PM1000, and then it's either the Distressor or my 1176. And if I can just record both of those chains at once through the same preamp, then you're golden. And that makes me excited.
That's cool. Yeah. That's cool. They mentioned that it has phantom power on all of the inputs. I think
so, yeah.
And they obviously had to do that because it wouldn't have worked otherwise, because they're digitally controlling this, which means there's it's going to be putting things between it and the phantom power in your console and everything.
Yeah.
I would assume.
Yeah.
I would assume.
But you can turn the phantom power off for every channel, and you can deny or allow that safeguard, because it can wreck gear.
Sure. Yeah.
So.
And I do love that they kept it all analog, by the way, and they didn't like put any converters or any crappy op amps or anything in there. It's just analog.
Well, let me get to that point in a second. But I was thinking about you, and like, do you have enough gear for this? Outboard gear for this?
He was kind of talking a little smack yesterday, saying he doesn't have enough gear for this thing.
I'm saying like when I see this thing, I visualize like 3 or 4 big rack pieces, and then you just plug them in. And it's so much easier that way, rather than having all these analog patch bays. Would this be better if you had more gear?
Well, everything's better when you have more gear.
Yeah.
but with my console, I've got 16 inputs and 16 outputs, and then I've got an input and output for each of my compressors. One of my compressors has 2 I/O, and then that leaves 8 more spots for expansion. So that's only 8. So yeah,
potentially it can be for everybody. It doesn't. You don't have to have a lot of gear to make this work for you.
Right.
I mean, and you could, in your setup like that, you can buy one of these, and then if you want to expand to some other stuff later on, you can just use other patch bays with it, so that you don't have to put everything on this. But maybe the things that are causing you the most amount of stress or taking up the most amount of your time, you can put those things on it.
Like console routing.
Right. Yeah.
This is a dumb question. How does it hook up to your computer?
With a USB cable.
USB.
So it's controlled via USB.
It says not connected.
No, it's all analog. So you still have to go through it's just like an analog patch bay where you're patching cables and you have to go through your converters and stuff. So
in my podcasting endeavors, I like to go to the internet to record, press conferences, interviews, that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And I've wrestled with this solution for a long time, but my solution was virtual audio cable. There's a bunch of them out there, and it routes sound from any internet program you have into your DAW to record directly. So that's kind of what I was hoping this was too, was a VAC, a virtual audio cable. I don't see why they couldn't do this, to be honest with you, but maybe that's something upgrade they can do later.
And that's another thing that's built into the cost is just constant upgrades and updates to the system and how it works. So
okay,
yeah.
I mean, they are a fairly young company though, so there is from my perspective, there is a little concern there that yes, it says constant upgrades, but hopefully they're around to provide those updates.
Mm-hmm. I hope they make bigger versions of this too, like instead of a 32 IO, I would like 64 IO because that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
that's the thing for me. If this was $600. It'd be a no-brainer. I'd be like, yes, I would want one of these for sure if it was $600. $2,200 is just a little bit too steep for me. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Go ahead.
Because when you put the perspective of the cost into play here, you could get a lot of other things like
an SSL 6.
An SSL 6, you could get that instead, and then have a few $100s left to get whatever you want.
You could get an SSL 6 and warm 251.
Yeah. So when you start comparing, you're like, well,
I know, and that's all I can do is compare. Do this or this, but it is cool.
Yeah, I've had less of a gear craze lately because I've got a lot of nice gear now, and I've had more of how can I make this session go smoother? Because I'm making a lot of good money off of working with bands and doing it all the time, so I need to keep moving so I have some free time once in a while. So
now you're at the point in your in your studio where you're looking at quality of life and speeding things up. And so I can see why you're interested in this totally. And it, like Jay, I agree with you. I would totally be like, oh, okay. If that was $500, I'd be like, oh, maybe. That's kind of cool.
When I was watching the video, I was like, man, even if this is like $600 for a patch bay, I think I'm going to get this. And then I saw the price and
maybe later.
Yeah, it's definitely down the road a bit, but I don't know if I'm going to get one yet. So tell me if I should.
Yes.
But the one more thing I want to say about this is if you're an engineer who is going to a studio to record bands, you can, if you're flying somewhere to record a band, and this is for upper level producers and stuff, people who are doing this full time. If you have one and the studio has one, the studio can just send you their.
Oh my gosh, that would be so awesome.
Yeah, they can send you their list.
Yeah.
And then you can have everything routed how you want to have it right away.
Point. That is a good point.
That's what makes me think it's.
Oh. No, I'm thinking even if the studio you go to doesn't have one, it's still, if you have one in your rack and all you have to do is patch into the back of that thing and then you have access to patching that thing into their console however you want, that would be amazing. When we did our studio nightmare thing, most of that nightmare stemmed from grabbing this rat's nest of cables in the back of his rack. He had all this awesome vintage gear, this guy, and he just had this rat's nest back there. And so most of our problems, how we got off on the wrong foot was because that was so impossible to patch in and out of. And if he had one of those, he could have just said, here's my inputs, here's my outputs, patch it into your patch bay.
Yep.
And then he could have just done what he needed to do.
Yeah, so something like that where...
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, that's what makes me think this is more for upper-level producers, people who are doing this full-time.
And that guy would have spent that on that.
Yeah.
For sure.
For certain people, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah. Okay.
And this is not sponsored, but it could be.
Yeah.
No. This is probably not a product we'll bring in.
Let's move on.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, while you fix that.
Should we take a pause here for him to fix
No,
this?
he's got this. We last Casual Friday episode, we were talking about Music Mess, and that's a a music show over in Europe, in Frankfurt, Germany, and there's a couple things we talked about, or you talked about something, but more has come out since then. Like looking back on it, there are a few releases and stuff. So I guess I wanted to talk about what Drawmer has going on. They have 2 new EQs. They are called the 1974 and 1976.
Yep. Correct.
And they are EQs. So did you guys have a chance to check these out or at least look at them?
I did. I think they look very cool. I mean, I'm a pretty big fan of Drawmer stuff. I think they make good stuff.
Yeah.
The first one, the 1974, is a parametric EQ. The mid bands are fully parametric, so it's got 2 mid bands. I shouldn't be clicking that.
I was like, who's clicking that? Yeah, I can't take them anywhere.
Sorry about that, guys. And then it's got high and low shelving. I don't know if it does peak or not on those higher lows.
So my thing with this EQ, the 74, what is inside of it that makes it notable?
I don't know.
Okay.
That part was not in any of the press that I saw.
Okay, because it depends on the price. It depends what's in it. Like if there's
the
good
price they're saying
transformers in
for
there-
each of these is about $1,000.
Okay.
Roughly.
There better be some good transformers in it. I mean, Drawmer always makes really
I
good
would
stuff.
expect it to be when they're like their vintage stuff is usually modeled after other things. So my thought is that this is probably like a Neve style EQ, but I don't know for sure. I'm just
parametric
speculating.
bands. Okay.
Yeah. But that would be my guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
And 74.
As soon as we find out, we'll report back and let you know what style it is. But they didn't really say it. None of the press releases I saw said, which I think is kind of. I agree with you. I was wondering the same thing. Like,
Yeah, like another
that should be
EQ.
a part of this because we're all audio nerds. We're gonna know what they're talking about. So.
Yeah.
So then, anyway, there's the 1976, which is inspired by the DC 2476 mastering processor, which is now discontinued, and it's a 3-band stereo width enhancer with an analog saturation processor.
He's getting giddy.
He is
over there.
shaking. The Mac is about to tumble onto his head.
Worth it.
And with adjustable frequency points so that you can kind of really tune it in. I think this sounds like an interesting thing. I'm into it.
Yeah, I'm getting into hardware mastering, and that sounds like a piece I'm probably going to get next year.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, $1,000?
I'm making good money from my projects, so
There you go.
Yeah,
Okay.
worth it. I'd like to hear it first.
It's
but-
a unique thing that there's not much out there like it, and I think it sounds like a really great sound shaping tool.
That was my question. Is like, is this in demand? Was this necessary kind of thing? But you're saying yes.
Is it necessary?
Well, you know what I mean.
No,
I
but
mean, is it?
but it sounds really cool.
Yeah, I would like to hear the saturation on it, and I'd like
Yeah.
to see what kind of transformers they're using. Because
Yep.
like, tube gear is really cool, but there's a lot of maintenance. Transformers are pretty much where it's at.
Right.
Okay. You got anything more to say on those? The 70s?
That's it. There wasn't a ton of information. That's kind of the main beats on that, but
Okay. Something that you
into
would think also you were looking at is the Oktava came Oktava came out with a MK119,
which is a reissue of the MK219, which is probably their third most famous microphone. It looks cool. It's in kind of a MK319 style body, so a round circular body. I think looks like a miniature 319, which is
So
cool
it's
because
smaller.
it's smaller than a 319.
Okay. Those are all the things I picked out from the news in the last few weeks or whatever. But I see you have quite a long list over there, Jay. Maybe it's your laundry list, maybe it's your to-do list. I'm not really sure.
It is spring.
Yes.
So yes, I've got front and back
boy,
full
okay.
here.
Oh wow!
But
Let's go.
half
Let's
of
get
this
it.
is the Drawmer, so
Okay.
so it's not so bad. Okay, so first up on my list is this one kind of got me. Mercurial tube modeling plugin. And the main beats on this are it models tubes from the beginning of their life to failure.
What?
And so the idea is the sound changes as time goes on.
How much time? Years?
Yeah.
They eventually fail and need to be replaced.
Wait, the plugin?
The plug.
Men. So I read that story and then I looked at the date.
Oh boy.
April 1st.
That's good.
So I read that yesterday. Today's the 16th. I read that yesterday, and I was just like, I was thinking of all the things in my head. I'm like, that's the dumbest idea. I mean, it's cool. Like, okay, let's find the sweet spot of the tube and have things change a little bit in there. But I'm like, it fails. That's the dumbest thing ever.
I was thinking like you can choose which one you want. Like if you want like dead sounding tubes but no, like you put them in and then
That's good.
I can't remember the
That's
way.
good.
I got to that through Harmony Central. It came in a big email with tons of stuff on it. And it wasn't marked as like an April Fool's joke or anything.
That's good.
Okay.
anyway, that's great.
Let's see here. So Weezer. Let's talk about Weezer for a second. Can we talk about Weezer?
Yeah,
Why?
Okay. Why? Okay. First of all, why is everything Weezer? The best things Weezer are doing right now is covers of 80s songs.
Why is it? Because people love that stuff, and it will never get away from covers.
I know. So anyway,
Unfortunately,
they covered "Everybody Wants to Rule the World," Tears for Fears. Do you know this? Do you know that song? Yeah. They did it with Tears for Fears on Jimmy Kimmel. It's really good. He's like, it's
My
really
only problem,
good. It sounds really
I'm
good.
sure it does. I'm sure it does. My only problem with Weezer is I wish they would would have stuck with their sound, especially this Toto cover, Africa. Like,
Oh, I like that one. I think that's really
I like
good.
it too. I really do. But I wish they would have done the solos with the guitars instead of keyboards. And
Well, then you'll like this one because they do the solos on the guitars.
good, because that's what they were. They're drums, bass, guitars, singing.
I don't have any problem with bands experimenting like that, but the latest Weezer album, I'm not a huge fan of.
yeah.
we
I like
listen to that.
I like most Weezer stuff, including the album before that one. I like that one a lot, but this one just went too far.
My wife and I were in the car listening to a Weezer album, and I don't know which one. It was the one with My Name Is Jonas on it. And I said to her,
The best one.
yeah, I said to her, this band is the only band that can pull off the sound.
I know. Isn't it crazy?
Yeah, and I really wish they would just stick with that because that's their thing. That's what they're so good at.
That would get old.
I know.
But my point is, like, it's with a cover.
I like
if you're
a
going
lo-
to cover, do it your style.
Yeah.
It's very similar to the original.
I think that the Tears for
almost
Fears is
indiscernible.
more their style. They've got some distorted guitars on it and stuff.
Okay, we'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
But I disagree with you guys in that I don't mind them experimenting. I like bands that evolve.
fine.
I like bands evolving.
Yeah.
But it's got to be
this-
it's got to be a good.
This latest
evolution.
album is pretty a pop
sounds-
experimental for
yeah.
them, and I think it's not a direction I would like to see them go.
Yeah, it's very overproduced, I think.
No, I think they went in that direction on the previous album. I can't remember the name of it, and they did it in a way where they still kept the Weezer charm and style to it. But this one, they like said, people like that, so let's keep going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Too far. They've gone too far before in the past, by the way, and they've come back. So
Okay, we'll see what happens.
I think they will. Okay. R. Kelly. Should we talk about R. Kelly?
I have nothing to say. I have no idea.
R. Kelly. Well, everybody knows R. Kelly got arrested. You know that, right? 10
Sure,
counts
I do
of
know.
aggravated sexual abuse.
Wow.
He only has $625 left to his
I
name.
just saw that headline yesterday. The court records have revealed that he only has under $1,000 to his name. So
I mean, that's justice.
Yeah, I guess yes, it is. It just shows again how you can be popular and have a lot of money, but then end up with nothing.
Right.
So
Don't screw up, kids.
And when you do get popular and that ego, you got to keep it in check and not abuse it, because so many people do, and he's a good example of that.
So I'm not going to lie. I have no idea who R. Kelly is.
He's a famous pop
he's like a
guy.
Yeah, R&B guy from the 90s.
And then the last thing I want to talk about, I'm killing you guys with all of this, like
Pop stuff.
what's that show on TV with all the trash?
Talk
TMZ.
Soup?
TMZ.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Talk Soup too. This is essentially the Talk Soup edition. But I've got my last one. This is the Netflix portion of the show.
Okay.
So I watched The Highwaymen, which is about the people who caught Bonnie and Clyde, killed them.
Oh, okay. I heard about this.
Okay, so it's Kevin Costner. So I watched this, and it's
Ooh, Kevin Costner.
I know.
Brutal.
So Kevin Costner plays Kevin Costner.
What?
And that's what he always does.
Right, it's true.
That's what I've come. That's what this movie made me realize, is that Kevin Costner plays Kevin Costner in every single movie. His best role is the Hatfield and McCoys, though. because Kevin Costner being Kevin Costner fits in that one.
I
Do you know who Kevin
I
Costner
have
is?
not a clue. I don't know anything about pop culture.
Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. He was in.
That's not where I would start.
Well, that's where he got.
Wasn't he in Waterworld?
Field of Dreams. Field of Dreams.
I saw that like
Okay,
15 years ago.
He was in the Superman movie as the father.
Was he really?
Yeah, that was his best role.
No, Hatfield and McCoy's the best role.
I got some other.
Have you watched the Hatfield and McCoy's?
Yeah.
Okay, it's really good.
Yeah, I liked it.
That's the best thing he's done.
I've got some a little bit of a pop culture here for you.
Okay.
So, no, you'll hate this but love it at the same time.
Let's just pretend he's not here.
Easy enough.
So Star Wars Episodes 9 is coming out.
Don't care.
In December. They revealed Star Wars Celebration was held in Chicago this past weekend, and they revealed several things that you'd think they would. But that's not my point. My point is, do you think John Williams is going to do the score? Have we?
Thought he retired.
That's what I'm asking.
John Williams knows he can't even save this trilogy.
That's
If I were him, I'd bail.
He's got one more to do. You don't think he'll do that?
I think he should. I think he should.
I think he should just get it over with. But
Bite the bullet.
now,
Come on, Johnny.
now trailers have come out, and
I did not watch them.
I did, and a lot of my friends, and even with the title, it's to me it seems a little bit more of a marketing ploy to get people in the seats again, to like, oh, intrigue. And this is exactly what I knew they were gonna do, trying to get you back into this. And a lot of my friends I talked to recently have said like that they're buying into this. And I'm on the fence. I'm skeptical, but David, it's happening. This marketing.
This is J.J. Abrams, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm into it.
I'm just saying.
Most of the stuff J.J. Abrams has done, I like, including what he did with Star Trek, which was awesome.
So there's a lot of hype, and there's a lot of like, I guess.
I think that's a reason to be hopeful, at least, right?
All I'm saying is like, you not here. What's the phrase? You shamed me once, or you something once. Fool me once. Shame on me. You fool me twice.
Shame on you. No, it's fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Right. And that's where I'm at right now. So although I knew this is what they were gonna do,
but do you have a little hope?
That's what I'm struggling with. Not yet.
None.
No, because they're trying to get this back.
Yeah.
And of course they're going to do what they're doing. They're marketing, they're hyping, they're trying to like, oh, this is going to be different. We're going to finish off the Skywalker trilogy. Apparently JJ met with George Lucas while writing the script and got his opinion. So this is what I'm talking about. This is their marketing ploy. No, for a lot of people, that is going to get them in the seat when they hear this collaboration with JJ and George.
So all I have to say about this is that after The Last Jedi, I do not care about Star Wars anymore. I refuse to watch the trailers. I refuse to watch this movie. I do not care. And on Snapchat, if you go swipe to the right side of it, you can see, will the new Star Wars movie get fans back? No. BB-8 has an adorable new friend. Don't care.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you not care?
Level 0, level 1.
I didn't even care enough to spread my arms apart. Do not care.
I know, so I shielded myself emotionally from Star Wars disappointment years ago. After watching the Red Letter Media stuff on the original the prequels, I was like, oh yeah, those movies are terrible, and I'm just not invested anymore. And so when the movies come out, I just go and I enjoy them. And I don't think about them when I leave the theater.
What's wrong with you?
They exist for 2 hours, and they're a means for me to have fun and eat popcorn.
Last Jedi existed for 3 hours, and that was way too much.
So
a lot of popcorn.
So there is only one way up from Jedi, but like, can they go enough to get us back in?
That bad?
Sure.
It wasn't the Phantom Menace bad.
We'll pod race back around to the beginning of this. John Williams. I guess I want him to book in
you're tying this music into the episode. I got it.
Yeah.
Do you see that? That's pretty smart.
I would like to see John Williams do it. His score for Last Jedi was there was nothing there. It was all rehash stuff, and there
background music.
There was no real themes.
I feel that way about all of the Star Wars stuff after Jedi.
Oh, No, the
What?
prequels had great music.
What? That was like the best thing about the prequels is the music.
I didn't care.
Oh, wow.
It's not that it was bad. It just didn't stand out to me.
We're going to have an intervention here.
Yeah, no kidding. Next episode.
The music for Uncharted Drake's Fortune stands out to me more than that.
Oh, no.
It had a
Across
good,
the Stars?
It had
That's
a
a
good
great...
classical score.
Across the Stars is the most beautiful piece I've ever heard. Like my soul cries every time I hear it.
Oh my gosh.
I think John should do the 9. I think he should bookend it. I just really hope and pray for him to have a thematical, if that's a word, score for this movie. And then he's done. Just get out, John, while you still can, I guess.
Yeah.
I do think John Williams is a modern day Beethoven, so I don't want to trash. I'm not trashing John Williams. I love John Williams.
Yeah.
I do too. Everything he's done except for The Last Jedi has been amazing.
Yep.
So,
Totally agree.
Whew, we got out of that one alive. You got anything else over there?
That's really all I have. The only other thing I wanted to say was this past week. It sounds like I'm going to say someone died or something, but no, no, I'm going to say another off-topic thing here. Okay, so set it up. Okay, so SpaceX. I'm a huge space nerd, so I'm going to constantly talk about SpaceX. But SpaceX launched the Falcon Heavy for the second time, which is 3 rockets hooked together, landed all 3 of them, 2 of them right back, synchronized back into Florida, and then the third one landed in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean on a drone ship.
That's awesome.
That is super awesome, right? And then I read yesterday that
it was April 1st.
No, but the drone ship was on the way back because it's in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, so it takes time, right?
Yeah.
Like it took 5 minutes to get there, but it's going to take like days to get back. And it hit a storm. And okay, so it's on a drone ship like this.
Vertically.
And it had hit 10-foot seas, so going up and down 10 feet, and the rocket went down. And so they lost it.
Can't they just like back to...
You're right.
back to Florida?
Man.
So anyway,
That's terrible.
It's terrible. It's sad.
Do they have Bose sound speakers in those things?
You trying to make it
music related? Did the astronauts get to listen to music up there?
There were no astronauts on it, so.
But like up in like the Mir space station.
Mirrors. Gosh, where are you from? Like 1987 or something?
I love to poke the bear.
The International Space Station. How about that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have music up there.
Okay, good. I wonder if they can get this up there.
You hear a lot of they do a lot of Star
episodes.
Wars stuff up there too.
I bet. Right.
No, they do. They're constantly doing Star Wars stuff, trying to get people to watch it.
Yeah,
just like we are, and we're not in space.
The kimono's open.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for making it this far into the episode, guys. We really appreciate it. Yeah. Go to our website, pixelproaudio.com/all-access, and you can get signed up for our latest giveaway, which is the...
What's the website?
pixelproaudio.com.
There you go.
What did I say?
You just said Pixel Pro Audio.
pixelproaudio.com/all-access. Sign up for our newsletter. That will get you signed up for our quarterly giveaways. This quarter, we're giving away a Focusrite Scarlett 6i6. So,
second gen.
So
pretty cool.
Go over there and do that. And thanks for watching, guys. And we'll see you around the drum next time.
There were so many things that I was going to say. Okay, let's go.
Hello, welcome back around the drum.
No, start again. I did one of those stupid weird faces right when you started talking.
What?
Okay.
What is that sound?
I knew you were gonna do something.
All right,
what you talking about?
Let's start over.